Hi everybody, welcome to second segment, episode 222, Sold with Updike Pugh. I'm Jeff Updike.
I'm Weston Pugh, and today we're going to take and do a quick recap over Q1 with the real estate market and see what is shaking, because there's a lot in this market. I feel like it doesn't matter what I'm doing or where I am, but the minute someone finds out that I'm in real estate, they want to know how the market is going, because there is quite a lot of uncertainty. And that uncertainty is just because people are hearing a lot of different information right now. And national headlines are, of course, different than they are locally. And as we said at the top of the hour when we were talking about, we could even drill this down even further and look at what's happening within 3 blocks and get even a different picture usually.
And what we're going to look at today, the first few slides are going to be comparing March and February of this year to one another. And then the last couple of slides, we're going to look back comparing March 2023 to March 2022.
Kind of to see where we're really headed over a year. And so this is really great. So let's take a look at the first slide that we have. And what we're going to be looking here is we're looking at the closed sales units. And this is, again, as we're looking at March of 23 to February of 23. And in that slide, all slides will look the same pretty much as far as the color combination and what they represent. Far left-hand side is going to be all of MLS. And MLS is a really large scenario. The actual blue column there, that is actually Dallas. And that's pretty much Dallas County. That's pretty much one we're going to focus on.
Yeah. Dallas County was up a little bit over up about 20% in number of closed sales March 23 compared to last month. The bright red one there between right next to the blue one is Collin County, which I thought was interesting that it's running about the same.
Now, it's not, and it is funny because Dallas and Collin County are neighbors, but their data can be completely off depending on what's happening. And we're going to see that here. The 2 purple and the orange ones, those are a little more rural. And so sometimes we have really large transactions that happen in there, whether it's a ranch or some land that has been sold, and those can really skew numbers. And so if you wanted to know why those were like that, we'd be happy to pull that out and make that look into that for you.
So our next slide is, again, comparing March 23 to February 23, and this is the closed sales average price. And you can see in Dallas County, it's up about it's down about 4.5%. And then Collin County is up about 2.5%. This is one of those areas that, we got a 6% swing.
Yep, and you can see then again there in the Erath County, a large transaction has happened. So that's what is throwing those numbers way off. So in this slide right here, what we're going to look at is days on market, but we're only comparing March to February. And so as you can see here, there's fewer days on the market so far in March than there were in February. All of MLS was down just by like 3.1%. Dallas was actually shortened up and tightened by 13.5%.
Yeah, and it's just indicative of the speed up that we're seeing in the market, because it is the spring market, but we're not seeing that surge of homes come on the market. So it's almost like we're kind of seeing a mini last year, maybe a mini year before, because inventory still is way down.
Yep. And if y'all ever watch or listen to Julie Mason, when Julie Mason has a guest on her show that says something, Julie Mason always goes, and so you just said that, and I just did not again other than last year. So taking a look at the next slide, what we're going to look at is closed sales, and that's a difference between March of 23 and this is where we're going to look at March of 22. And so as you can see, there have been in all of MLS, an 11% decrease in the number of total sold transactions for all of MLS.
And Dallas County is down about 20%. Again, you can see that bright red. Collin County is up about 2.5%.
Yeah, again, we were talking about how even though we're neighbors, we're not always going to have the same data.
So March, this is the closed average sales price, again, comparing year over year, March of 23 to March of 22. Dallas County was down about 2%, and Collin County was down almost 5%.
Yeah, and that is a big swing for them. So what we talk about, a lot of things that happen here in the more of the Dallas area, is we're talking a lot of resale, whereas Collin has a combination of both resale and new homes on the market. So they can have a little more pitch in what they're seeing on the market in this data right here.
Yes. And so I think this is our last slide, percentage change months of inventory, and this is based on closed sales. In Dallas County, we are up about 125% in terms of months of inventory, but that could reflect like going from 2 weeks of inventory to a month of inventory.
Exactly.
It's that minute of a change.
So this
23 makes it sound like it's crazy.
It makes it sound like everything stay on the market for a year and you're never going to sell it, but that's really not the case. Again, like you were saying, last year we were seeing things that could last on the market hours. So if you go up 120%, you're on the market for maybe 7 days, 12 days. It's not nearly as dramatic as what the numbers make themselves out to be. So kind of recapping, the reason why we think that Dallas is having this surge and this change in this market is we're still such a strong jobs growth market. We have so many people that are relocating here, as you hear all the time through the news. That is actually true. Texas is overall a very friendly business state, as many of you are finding out, and also affordable housing.
Our housing prices have really gone up comparatively over the last 5 years, but we're still a somewhat affordable place to live.
Absolutely.
Terms of, what your monthly house payment or monthly out of pocket is as a percentage of your gross income.
And then the other thing too is we're really needing the market to be both a buyer and a seller's market. And for that to happen, we need between 4 and 6 months. Inventory is still a little bit low. Once that stabilizes out, we'll see a lot more of these shifts in the market slow down, and we'll have more of our normal gradual appreciation.
And interest rates are still remaining remarkably low. Yes, they've gone up over the last year or so, but again, we're 6.5%, and that's probably where our interest rate should have been for the last several years.
And they're probably going to hang out there and just perch.
Yeah.
So one of the things we want to say is that if there's information like this that you need for an area that you're looking to invest in or that you live in, let us know. It is really easy for us to create a portal that can make that happen for you.
And just remember, we want to be your realtors for life. When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.
When you're ready to talk real estate, you can reach us online, by phone, or by text at 214-377-2223.
And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.